What's going on, everybody? Brian here from Brian's Broadcast. I hope all of you are doing fantastic. Today, we're going to review a beautiful fragrance from the house of Xerjoff. Now, I have been after this fragrance for a long time, so I was not scoring the right price. Finally, I got it at one of the discounters at a fantastic price that I could not overlook. So I went ahead, ordered the stuff, and my God, I'm happy that I did. So let's talk about Xerjoff Uden. And my friends, if this is your first time visiting my channel, make sure you are subscribed and hit the thumbs up button if you like contents like these. So first off, let me show you the beautiful packaging. Usually the Xerjoff packagings are beautiful. And just so you know, my friends, Uden is from the Shooting Stars line of from Xerjoff, and this fragrances, the Shooting Stars line comes with a little tiny piece of an actual meteorite, which they include inside the box. And these boxes are numbered. So basically, what you have in your hands with Uden is a very special fragrance and a presentation. Let me show you the wonderful box. This is a Xerjoff box, of course, if you have seen it. The fragrance bottle sits right in there, and I don't know if you can see it. You see there's a number over there. That is the numbered thing that I was talking about. Let me show you the bottle really quick, and this is for people who have not seen a Xerjoff bottle before. This is the beautiful 50 ml bottle. Wonderful stuff, like the golden cap, and it's a beautiful presentation. It as if it's made to hold in your hands like this. Beautiful stuff. The cap sits very snugly, and of course it locks into place, and it's a very heavy cap. Let me show you the wonderful, the most precious thing that comes inside this little envelope. So this is where you will see the piece of meteorite. There you go. That's an actual meteorite. It just matches with the name, like the Shooting Star series, right? Beautiful stuff. And of course, you get a little certificate of authenticity of where this tiny little meteorite was found. So you can see beautiful stuff, mind-blowing. That's something you would, honestly, after seeing this thing for real, I've seen a lot of people talk about this fragrance, but almost none of the reviewers ever mentioned about this piece of meteorite. I don't know why they never did. But of course, I'm happy to show you. Now, before I even proceed, let me just tell you one thing, that Torino 21 is my absolute favorite summertime or all year round fragrance. But after I got Uden, I'm kind of it's hard to decide now which one I should wear. Torino 21 or Uden. Let me read out the notes to you from their website, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what my thoughts are about Uden. So on the top, you've got lemon and grapefruit. On the mids, you've got sandalwood, rose, rum absolute, gag wood, and on the base, you've got musk, coffee absolute, vanilla absolute. So there's a lot of really concentrated stuff. When they say absolute, it kind of, I believe it's most likely about the actual authentic extracts as opposed to only chemical stuff, like artificially prepared notes. So do correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm not a perfumer, I'm not a perfume expert. These are just my thoughts and what I've found. So Uden, the moment you spray it, it just immediately, the first impact that it has on your senses is that it just brings everything into life. Now, of course, once you spray this thing, it's a very lively, very soothing, very smooth experience with the lemon and grapefruit. The grapefruit here is one of the juicy, fruity one. The lemon is not the tarty citrus or acidic one. It's a very smooth. It's the flavor we are talking about. We are not talking about the sourness, the tartiness, or the bitterness on the zest part only. We're talking about the entire thing. It's very, very smooth, very soothing. There's a kind of an herbaceous herbal feel to it. There's a green touch to it. And slowly, as the fragrance is drying down, this is where things get very, very interesting. Now, there's the presence of sandalwood, rose, rum, and gagwood. Now, of course, gagwood is one of those dry, tad bit like a smoky, woody thing. And at the same time, with the sandalwood, it just makes the thing very, very smooth. The sandalwood over here, it's one of your dry, tad bit creamy, not completely creamy, but tad bit creamy. And with the rum and the rose, now the rose is not your super dominant thing, but the rose over here, what I felt is that you feel kind of like a bit of sweetness coming through, and with the boozy rum note. Now the rum is not one of your super uber boozy note. It's more of like a balancing thing. It just balances and like rounds the whole thing out. It's a beautiful feeling. There's kind of like an effervescent kind of feel to it. There's a powdery touch left and right, and further when the fragrance is drying down. Now, the musky coffee part is what makes this fragrance even more alluring, more intoxicating. It's a very addictive fragrance, feels extremely nice. So, and with the vanilla kind of like, it's one of your sweet, not too sweet, it's just like perfect amount of sweetness. It's that perfect sweetness and that creamy sandalwood and vanilla combination as it's drying down. It's a wonderful cooling thing. Like it's one of that beautiful fragrances that's most enjoyed. I found this fragrance, I found Uden to be more enjoyable when it's like warmer. I don't know how it's gonna do in the cooler months. Of course, like I just got it, been testing it out on and off, but like we 78 sprays every time. This thing just lasts. Has a great longevity too. So when you apply Uden first, this thing is going to project for like 1 to 2 hours. It's pretty loud. But let me tell you one thing. This is not one of your offensive fragrances. This is something that's very soothing, very inviting, and it's a beautiful fragrance. Trust me. Now, as it's drying down, it slowly comes and, like positions itself like covering you in an aura, which is a beautiful feeling too. So it's not like gonna be super loud. It's very much office safe and very much like crowd pleasing fragrance. This is one of your mass pleasing fragrances. Chances are, like, if somebody does get offended, well, that person definitely has issues with fragrances in general, because Uden is one of those like very subtle, subtle by subtle, I mean like it's not your offensive like super aggressive thing. It's a very nice soothing fragrance, and by like almost 7 to 8 hours this fragrance is almost sitting close to your skin, but it's wafting very nicely as a wonderful skin scent, and that skin scent lives on for almost like 10 to 12. It just elongates or drags its performance to almost like 10 to 12 hours. So on skin, if you're talking about like longevity wise, I would say this is a solid 6 to 7 hours fragrance, but it lives on and on. It just does not want to go away. It's a beautiful fragrance. The coffee over here balances everything with that beautiful like coffee and musk combination. It's like really, really nice. Very, very charming, very inviting, and trust me, it's intoxicating. And I just cannot stop smelling this thing. Some people do compare Uden to Chanel's Allure Homme Sport Extreme or just the Allure Homme Sport. I don't have that fragrance, so I'm not going to do any comparison, but this Uden by itself is a wonderful fragrance. Guys, if you do have the funds to secure a bottle, this is a really special thing with that little tiny piece of meteorite, like something from the outer space. You are considered to be lucky, right? Holding something that's from the outer space, plus that these are like numbered bottles, of course. I don't know if the bottle is numbered, but of course the box comes numbered, so of course that's a numbered bottle too. So this is something really special. I highly recommend you definitely give this a try. Is it blind buy worthy? Chanel Allure Homme Sport, if you can buy that, and if you do have the funds, by all means give it a shot. Try it out at least. Like, this is really, really nice. This was beautiful, like awesome stuff. So guys, that was my honest and humble take on Xerjoff Uden. Let me know in the comments, do you have this fragrance or any other fragrance that you own? And what are your summertime Xerjoff fragrances that you really like and you would recommend to me? I will most likely be trying out some more. So until the next one, please take care, stay safe, and all the best.